Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
In the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Just like you thought it was going to play out, huh? Tight game. Did you bury the lead? Jets win. Exciting.
Jets
overtime.
win.
Punt
Jets
return.
win.
Rookie. You fell in love with him on Hard Knocks. Xavier Gibson. Oh, wait. Did you bury the lead? Wow. 4 plays in, and wow. Just for the record, this thing's broken. I didn't do it. See it? I don't know how you feel about Rodgers. I don't care how you feel about Rodgers. That was a bummer. Watching him go down, 4th play of the season, and the question has got to be, there's a million questions. Is that it, man? Is that how it ends for Aaron Rodgers? Good morning to you. Happy Tuesday. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck in DC. How you doing?
What it do?
What one of the most bizarre moments in the NFL, period, right? The hype going in, and I don't want to discount the hysteria in the building, which we weren't there, but 9/11, all the remembrances, it was the fire department, right, choir that sang the national anthem, everything that was around that game. It was the 22nd anniversary on 9/11, the beginning of the Rodgers era, coming out of Hard Knocks, Monday Night Football, the place was going bonkers. And 4 plays in, they pop the balloon, and it goes down like that. There's been bizarre moments like that. That's up there, man. And the consequence that it is, and I feel for Jet fans, somebody do a wellness check on Sean today. Seriously, right? I don't care where you are on Rodgers. That was a hell of a story, and that was going to be fun to watch this year.
It was, and you saw as the game played out, that's a championship defense. That is a playoff winning defense. And 4 plays in, your season is done. Because we can sit here and we're going to talk about Zach Wilson and can he develop, can they formulate an offense that keeps them competitive? Aaron Rodgers is done after 4 plays. And yet you still have, if you're the Jets, the highlight of your season, a walk-off win over the Buffalo Bills. So everything that transpired last night is why people joke that this is scripted, but it's also impossible to script and or figure out. Because Josh Allen sure felt like it, and everyone else did, that once Aaron Rodgers went down, it's a no-brainer. The Bills were winning that game.
Josh Allen was the only guy that benefited last night because everybody's going to talk about Rodgers instead of how crummy he looked. Josh Allen was horrible last night, and we'll get there. It's on the rundown. But it's about Rodgers, man. Is that it? Is that how this ends? He's going to be 40 in December. Long comeback. We figured you were getting 2 years out of him. He's getting, 49, 50, 52 million, whatever, he's $50 million this year. Is that it? Is that how this thing ends for Aaron Rodgers? He's the kind of guy who, is it worth coming back? Guys have had a great career. And, is that how this ends? Are we ever going to see him play again?
50-50 at this point. I think for Aaron Rodgers, process ahead is going to want to get healthy regardless after the Achilles surgery. And is that how you want to go out?
You don't want to go out that way. Nobody wants to go out that way. No. The answer is, the question is, do I want to fight through this thing? I've never had an Achilles, but I mean, everybody who's had one says it's just brutal, right? Do you want to fight through it and come through and is it worth it? Is it worth it? When you say their season's over, what does that mean? Because I think that team can still make the playoffs with Zach Wilson.
Okay.
I don't know that I think they can win the Super
We
Bowl.
would not have
AFC.
said that if he was their quarterback prior to the season.
Right.
So
Right.
it's the eye test for us. And now that we actually get to see how good that defense is, I'm not going to freak out about the performance last night because I don't even think they put in any scenarios in practice where like, hey, if Zach Wilson has to take a snap.
That's right.
Because I'm surprised Zach Wilson even knew where his helmet was when Aaron Rodgers went down.
Surprised he even had one, man. He wasn't playing. In 4 plays, it was. And with all due respect, his numbers aren't horrible. It's 14 for 21. That's 67%. We have 140 yards, touchdown and interception. He wasn't horrible.
They managed the game. It was short. It was screenplays.
Thank you to
Throw
Brees
a
Hall.
fade to Garrett Wilson.
Brees Hall was terrific. Garrett Wilson's catch was insane. And Xavier Gibson wins them a game. We watched him in the preseason. He looked better. He looked like he's been humble. He looked like he learned under Aaron Rodgers. The other guy that learned under Aaron Rodgers seems like after 1 week that he was pretty good, right? Jordan Love looks pretty good after 1 week. Can this Aaron Rodgers tutelage thing rub off on Zach Wilson? I think that team runs the ball well enough, has weapons, and has an insane defense. They're going to have to get to the playoffs. Now, that wasn't the goal, I understand. And there's going to be all kinds of questions. And I get the Tom Brady talk. Nothing will ever stun me more. That's not fair. Well, maybe it is. I make the call. There's no way he's coming and playing for the Jets, right?
No way. With the ownership thing also, I don't even know if that's possible.
Well, so I've been hearing all kinds of different things. Has he signed the papers? Like he's an owner, but is it gone through? Is it official? Because he's a part owner of the Raiders or going to be or with that. They had the ceremony in New England 2 days ago. He's 45, 46, going to be 46. He's made it clear he's done. Like, there's no way, right? Oh, and by the way, that's your biggest rival in division, right? Aren't the Patriots their biggest rival in division? No doubt.
Does Tampa Bay still have his rights? Do you know?
No, he became a free agent, right? I'm relatively certain he's a free agent. No way, right? I mean, you make the call.
Why not? Easy to send a text message.
Due diligence, you got to check everything.
Outside of Brady, all these names, whether it's Matt Ryan or Phillip Rivers or Carson Wentz or Nick Foles or Jameis Winston, other than Brady, Zach Wilson's your quarterback, right? Those guys are coming in to be a backup.
Yeah, there are no names out there that make me feel better about the Jets offense than Zach Wilson. Because all those other quarterbacks, you're going to ask them to do what you're going to ask Zach Wilson to do. Don't lose you games. You have a running back combination of Brees Hall and Dalvin Cook. That's effective. You have a number one wide receiver that you're going to find a way to get catches. The recipe for success is what happened last night. Control the football, don't turn it over, and pop a big play.
So stunned that Sean McDermott and the defense for the Bills didn't just say, go beat me through the air. 8 in the box and play one-on-one on the outside and go beat me.
They couldn't stop the run.
They couldn't. Well, that's why I would have put more attention there. That's why I would have put more resources to stop the run. You think they put enough?
Yeah. There was some time late where they left the safety up.
They couldn't stop the run. And that's that offensive line that we were all worried about. Are they any good? Are they any good?
Because they weren't hiding it. There's 3 tight ends and 1 wide receiver.
No, I get it. Where what do you think when he went down? Like, what was your initial thought?
I knew it was bad when he sat back down.
Really?
Like it was more than just a sprained ankle.
When they showed it and replayed it, you could see his ankle did something very unusual. And I'm with JJ. As soon as he sat back down, I knew this was more than just a series or a quarter. This was going to be serious.
See, I was in the car listening to Kevin Harlan. Rodgers is down. Rodgers is down. Rodgers is down. And I did TJ show, so I was on the way back. I picked up some pokey, and when I went back and I saw it, and I'm like, oh, like that looked bad. And then everybody's telling me, well, watch the calf pop, and that means Achilles and all this stuff. And then all the internet doctors came out, and everybody with a PhD on Twitter was like telling me what was going on. Honestly, my biggest thought was, what a bummer for him. But what a bummer for all of us, because this was going to be a great story. This was kind of really fun to watch, and it played out on Hard Knocks. I mean, look, first and foremost for him, the hell with us, right? I don't have a blown Achilles today, but what a bummer. And then I started thinking about Jets fans and Sean O'Kay, right? And wow. And then there was that one picture of the dude, the screenshot. Did you see? They showed Jets fans, and there's that one dude who put up his middle finger. There's like one dude just like that, and this other guy just flipping off Zach Wilson. It's just so good. Here it is, Adrian. There it is. I don't know if you can right about there. If you're watching on ProView Networks, it was insane. We'll talk about that. Where do they go? What do they do? Your reaction. Oh, by the way, I've got him on 2 fantasy teams as my quarterback. I'm burned. I don't have a lot of ways to go. I need some help with that. We're going to get all through that. We're not going to let the Bills hide on this. We can have the conversation. Did the Jets win? Did the Bills lose? Bills looked horrible offensively. Josh Allen, what was that? Just throwing balls around. So what does that mean long term? When we come back, however, it is rivalry week, and that goes a long way around here. Rivalry week in the land of enchantment.
Rio Grande rivalry week.
Yep. Or I as I like to call it, the rivalry of enchantment. Jerry Kill's got a commitment this morning, but offensive coordinator at New Mexico State, Tim Beck's going to join us. We're going to rehash what happened at Liberty. The offense did not score a point in the second half in their loss to Liberty. And look ahead. Are they healthy? What do they see? And we could talk to the offensive coordinator about how do you get that offense moving coming to Albuquerque for a big game for both programs. Tim Beck, offensive coordinator at New Mexico State, next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. You're home for Monday.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. You want an exciting and fast-paced podcast based on one of the most popular segments in the history of the Rich Eisen Show? Well,
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Albuquerque, New Mexico State versus New Mexico, the rivalry of enchantment. And both teams, it's a big one for both teams. Lobos coming off a 56-10 win over Tennessee Tech last weekend at home. New Mexico State was on the road in Lynchburg, Virginia, where they got beat in their first Conference USA game, 33-17. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. Normally, right about now, Jerry Kill, the head coach at New Mexico State, joins us, and he's got a prior commitment that he couldn't get out of. And so we are really looking forward to speaking with the offensive coordinator in his stead. Tim Beck is the offensive coordinator at New Mexico State. And what was that? That was really weird. And that's what he sounds like? No, we're going to get him back. Tim Beck is going to join us. That was really bizarre. Their offense struggled in the second half last week. Are you worried about Diego a little bit, their offense?
You have to be. That's games, too. You look at UMass and then Liberty, turnovers. And multiple turnovers, multiple interceptions. They really have to clean that up.
All right, let's try that again. Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator at New Mexico State. Good morning. Tim, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Good. Appreciate you spending some time with us and pinch hitting for Jerry. Big week down there. The thought around the program, it was so many kids, and I asked Jerry this last year, I asked Danny Gonzalez this yesterday, with so many kids coming in with the transfer portal and 40-something, 50-something new players. Does the importance of the game, has it resonated through that locker room yet, or is this something that they all have to play to understand how big this game is?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that for sure. I'll tell you that the game has changed where you'll see, supposedly Colorado had 80 new players, and the next thing you know, they're going to TCU and winning, beating a team that played in the national championship. So I think I think it's a different world. College football's changed tremendously these last couple of years, and so every year you got to bring your team in. You got new players. Everybody's got new players, and people are transferring in, transferring out, and you've got to find a way to speed up the process of having good team chemistry. There's no question about that, and success early is important, obviously, and getting your team to buy in and do what you do, and it's hard. It's harder now than it's ever been to develop players because there's a lot of kids are not willing to just sit and wait a year or two or three and then become a starter or then become a player. Right. So there's a lot of challenges out there, and so it's one of those things where everybody's on the same page, everybody has the same challenges, so you just got to make the best out of it and move forward.
All right, Tim, last week, offense struggled in the second half. It was scoreless in the second half in the 33-17 loss at Liberty, a game that the Aggies went in last year and stunned them. I know Liberty was ready for it. But the second half issues, what did you see when you looked at the tape? Is it something that's fixable? Are you concerned about it? Where are you offensively?
Well, we got, we had a good start to the game, and then Liberty came out in the third quarter and went on a 9-minute drive, which was amazing. And so then we felt like we pressed a little bit too much and tried to force a couple of things to try to get back in it a little bit quicker, and then that didn't work out. So I think we're okay. It's just one of those things where the game was a weird game, and we just didn't play with as good a flow in the second half as we did in the beginning of the game, and felt like after the first drive, we were going to be able to do some more things against them, and then sometimes it just didn't happen. And the bottom line is we turned the ball over 3 times.
That's a big problem.
When you turn the ball over 3 times, you're not going to win.
Yeah. Tim Beck's the offensive coordinator at New Mexico State. He's with us on the Sports Animal this morning.
Well, Tim, you talk about changes and new places for you. Your entire football career is pretty much at Pittsburgh State, from a player to a coach there in Pittsburgh, Kansas. What has this been like for you, working with Jerry Kill once again, but this time at New Mexico State and starting to build this roster?
So the cool thing is I played under Dennis Franchione, and I was hired under Dennis Franchione. And so when Dennis Franchione was the head coach at New Mexico, I came there and visited multiple times. And Coach Kill and I actually got to go have lunch with Coach Franchione right before the season this season. So been on campus and been in the football offices a couple of different times back when Coach Fran was the head coach, and so got that passed, and it's it's been fun. Going to TCU was a great experience, and Coach Patterson and I coached together at Pittsburgh State, and then Coach Kill got this opportunity, and there's a good group of us that came from TCU out here to New Mexico State with him, and it's been a really good transition.
Hey, Tim, we talk to coaches all the time, and the scenarios that you guys are working through in practice and playing through. Last night we saw a team in the New York Jets at 4 plays into their season. Their starting quarterback went down, and they just looked shell-shocked. They looked like they did not expect Aaron Rodgers to miss any time. How much are you guys working on those other scenarios and trying to think about, hey, what could happen if X, Y, and Z occurs?
That's a really good point, and that's something that all coaches have to be prepared for, and that's why you go to practice on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you've got to share reps with different people and make sure you're getting everybody that possibly can play in the game ready to go, and that's the last thing they thought was going to happen. Is exactly right. It happened 4 plays into the game, so they interviewed some of the Jets after the game, and they talked about. Their team was shell-shocked, and they didn't handle it very good for a little while, but then they kind of, stood up and got going again. So the thing that you have to be prepared for is at every position is when you have somebody go down or lose somebody, is the next guy ready to go, and that's exactly what separates a lot of football teams across the country is the depth that they have and the next man up. How prepared is he to get in that game and execute what needs to be done?
He's Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator at New Mexico State. Aggies and Lobos Saturday 6:02 kickoff at University Stadium. You guys have been doing that. Eli Stowers is your backup quarterback. Diego's your guy, and Eli, the sophomore, super talented transfer from Texas A&M. You've got packages in there. You've run him in there. How stable is your quarterback situation? And I know coaches say everything's up for grabs. Is there a competition each week, or is this Diego's job and there's just packages for Eli?
Well, we want competition at every position if we can get it. You want everybody to understand that they have to go practice well every week, and there's a reason they're the starter. But it's different defensively. Defensively, you roll a lot of people and move a lot of people. It's different at wide receiver because you play a lot of players, and so it doesn't really matter who starts and who doesn't. But a quarterback, it's one of those things where everybody's looking at that position, and that's obviously a very important position. If your quarterback doesn't play well, you usually don't win. And so, but Diego's our guy. Diego's absolutely our guy, and he's done a good job, but we've had some turnovers. And when we have turnovers, then, like I said, it's hard to win when you have 3 turnovers, which we've done that twice, 2 different games now. So, that's what everybody looks at that position. And I've always said this, and I believe this, and I don't know what coach told me this, but when you win a game, there's 3 people that get too much credit, and that's the head football coach, the offensive coordinator, and the starting quarterback. And when you lose a game, there's 3 people that take too much criticism, and that's the head coach, the offensive coordinator, and the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of the nature of those positions.
And they're the only ones that have records tied to their names, too, right? The left tackle doesn't have a win-loss record. Let me ask you this on Diego, because do you have to kind of manage emotion this week? He's a New Mexico kid, Volcano Vista, didn't get recruited by UNM. Didn't play in last year's game when you won down there. And he's told us on this show, I mean, this is something that he's circled. And then they play a different defense, right? They're coming at you from everywhere. You don't see what they do every week. Do you have to coach him a little differently this week because of all the emotion?
I think the bottom line is we know he'll be super excited to play and all that. I think you just have to go out and make sure that you maintain a level head about everything, and if you put too much into it, you can overthink things. And at a quarterback, sometimes you can press too hard and not have a positive effect sometimes. So bottom line is to keep a level head. They do a tremendous job defensively and cause you lots of different problems and bring everybody from everywhere. So that you just have to be level-headed about it and know and trust your reads and play like you're supposed to play, and don't get too high and too low.
Yeah. Tim, appreciate the conversation. We'll see you when you get up here this weekend. Good luck against the Lobos, and thanks for pinch hitting for Jerry.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Be well. Tim Beck's the offensive coordinator at New Mexico State. Gives you a little idea. We talked to Diego, about 3 weeks ago? Diego probably right before the season, right? And he was looking at this one. This is a big one. Sure, all the New Mexico kids are. And if you're always playing with a chip on your shoulder, it'll be a fun one. Lobos and Aggies coming up on Saturday at University Stadium. All right, when we come back, we're going back to Monday Night Football. Latest on Aaron Rodgers and the injury, and we should get something, I guess, definite. I think everybody kind of has a pretty good idea where this is. And what do they do? And we're not letting the Bills off the hook. I mean, the guy from Wyoming was the one guy that benefited from Rodgers going down yesterday, but he didn't get off the hook. That's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Monday night and Thursday night and Sunday night football.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction Safety Company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indy Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
7. The year they went to the Insight.com Bowl, went to TCU, then went to Alabama, then went to A&M. And then Tim talked about working at TCU under Gary Patterson. Of course, Gary Patterson, also the longtime TCU coach, was here at UNM, was the defensive coordinator under Fran, and was defensive coordinator at TCU. And then when Fran left, got the job and went on, what was he there, about 20 years, right? Had great success at TCU. The coaching tree is interesting. All right, 505-246-0610. I asked for a welfare check and threw out the bat signal. And the fact that he was able to dial the phone makes me feel a little bit better. Aaron Rodgers goes down, 4th play of the season. It is an Achilles, feared to be done for the year. You wonder long-term, will you ever see him again? And I'm Is Sean okay? Sean, you okay?
Not the best.
Yeah, imagine.
But if you want some confidence boost from Zach Wilson, that run game and the defense, that was the game to show it.
How about winning that game? I think lost in all this is that amazing team win to win that game with that rookie punt return with Zach Wilson with the running game with that defense. I mean, if you're looking for something, I mean, I get what the obvious is, but how about winning that damn game?
It's incredible. I've never been so stressed and so elated watching a Jets game in a very long time, probably a few months.
So where are you, man? I mean, honestly, that goes down, and you thought what when you watched the quarterback go down?
Honestly, my face was like every other Jets fan and player. Yeah. I thought that was it. Yeah. I thought game's done. Bills are going to ride this momentum. And for the first couple drives, it looked that way.
Yep.
Nothing was happening, but I don't know. Maybe Rodgers left a little magic in the locker room for them to get into a halftime. But, yeah, I thought the game was done. And, hey, if we can pull off 80-yard runs with Breece Hall, like he never had an ACL and MCL injury, we'll be okay.
Yeah. All right,
as long as that doesn't turn everything over, I hope it's not an ACL, but it didn't look like that bad of a play when he was going down.
No.
Is that just me?
So, it did. It looked so routine. I mean, it looked so routine, but obviously, I always make this analogy, and it's probably not a good one, but when Dale Earnhardt, passed away, that crash looked, NASCAR routine, and he died in it. So you never know, but obviously it's more than routine. What's a good season now? Playoffs?
Playoffs is a good season.
Yeah.
We were heading towards playoffs before Breece Hall got injured last year. Why can't we run it back?
Fair enough. All right, man. Be in touch. Glad you checked in. Was worried about
I appreciate you folks.
All right. See you,
Have
Sean.
a good one.
See you. All right. Welfare check. He's all right. I mean, relatively okay.
Well, it's such a weird feeling
because they won.
They had a walk-off victory on Monday Night Football with everything that's going on, and yet it was like, to your point, felt like someone died.
Well,
for the New York Jets, and Robert Saleh comes in and he has to address Aaron Rodgers.
Sure,
but that's such a weird situation for him to be in because he was just running down the field in a dog pile with his teammates, and he has to come in and just be a totally different level and talk about the reality of losing Aaron Rodgers for the season. But by the way, we just shocked the world.
They did shock.
Won a game.
Did you see? Were you watching the Manning cast, or were you watching the main broadcast last night?
Main broadcast.
Okay, I flipped back and forth. McEnroe was on Manning cast. Oh, John McEnroe wanted to cry.
How was that?
It's always good. It's always good. But on the main broadcast that you were watching, so at halftime, Peyton came on with, was it Van Pelt or was it with Aikman? I don't even remember who was with it.
Van Pelt.
And he said, I just there's nothing there. I mean, they're in trouble. Basically, he said it's over. They're done. Peyton Manning on the Manning cast. Manning's like, when he went down, is Zach Wilson. He says, Zach Wilson's still with them? He's still on that team? I didn't watch any tape on Wilson. Like, he didn't even know he was there, right? And he, if you listen to Peyton Manning, this thing was O-V-E-R, over. And I mean, we all felt that way, right?
Absolutely.
And so
the Bills played that way.
That's why this thing is so bizarre. And Jet fan like Sean is, wow, that sucked. But they just beat a team that is considered to be one of the three best teams in the AFC, right?
Yes, they did.
They beat them on the night that their franchise quarterback goes down on the fourth play, and you brought in the guy that everybody wanted out. Then the last play regulation, doink, good. Ugh, it's just not our night, right? Our quarterback goes down, they're getting all the bounces, and then you return a punt from a dude that nobody had heard of 3 weeks ago and win the game and walk it off. Oh, and you turn Josh Allen over 4 times. I just, as bizarre as it gets. And so, yeah, I get where they're all coming from.
And let's remember, 2 of those interceptions were in the end zone. I mean,
yeah. Okay, let's go.
And if you want to go the punt on the first one, whatever. But the second one,
dude, what was he doing?
That's a great question. That performance is exactly why I
you and all the critics, you and the Josh Allen critics were proven absolutely right for a night last night.
for a night. I mean, anything can happen. Certainly, they're going to adjust.
He leads the NFL in turnovers over the last 2 seasons. Is that the stat I saw?
I think it's over the last 5.
Has he been around that long? Wow. I mean, you got to protect the damn football. What did Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator at New Mexico State, just tell us? You turn the ball over 3 times, you're not winning the game. Right?
Diego is our guy, but we've had some turnovers.
Isn't that what he just said to us?
That is exactly what he just said. And Josh Allen was playing like this was a scrimmage.
I swear
like
to you.
preseason week 1, just kind of like, all right, I'm just out here, I'll sling it around. They don't have Aaron Rodgers anymore. There's nothing to worry about. There's a whole lot to worry about.
Yeah.
You weren't running the football. You weren't making plays outside of Stephon Diggs. And you have Stephon Diggs. But if you want to advance in the postseason, if you want to be a legit AFC conference contender, you got to show growth. They did not show any of that last night. And a game's going to be tight. And we realized how good that Jets defense is. And he still looked lackadaisical. Like he wasn't in control. Just like, I'm just going to sling it around, figure something out.
I really like Josh Allen, but he was bad yesterday. They ran the ball for 97 yards, 36 of them were their quarterback. That's a problem. 13 targets to Diggs. Your next most was 4. That was to Gabe Davis and your 2 tight ends. And then 6 to the running back, the extension of the running game.
The NFL, you have to figure something out because every other team, we're having the conversation, well, the offensive line isn't any good. The offensive line isn't any good. Well, figure it out. The Jets did last night.
Tell you what.
You know, you make a very interesting point. He totally did look like he was playing a scrimmage. Like he didn't seem to me like he was all the way invested in the game.
Let me ask you this. Is there something to playing preseason games? I mean, we hear it, and we knew we were going to hear it, and all these quarterbacks who didn't play preseason games, many of them did not play well. Joe Burrow didn't. Is it because it was his first live experience in 8 months?
He also didn't practice.
He didn't practice. I understand that.
Matthew Stafford didn't play in preseason.
No, and he looked just fine. Yeah. No, many of them didn't, dude. Like a lot of them didn't. Right? Kenny Pickett did.
It's
he didn't
football.
look good.
There's no, like, you either have it or you don't.
And next week we're going to sit here on Monday and Tuesday, and the stories are going to be flipped. Right? Everything we think we know now, we didn't know then. Like the text line says, how wrong Jeff was in expecting teams to be great as a result of they paying their quarterback the highest salary possible. Herbert, Burrows, Rodgers prove that clearly untrue. Did I ever say that teams will be great if they pay their quarterback the most money they can pay them?
It's on the text line. You said it.
Did I ever say that you've got? I mean, you have to
expect
have
them to
a
be
quarterback.
Good if you're paying them the most money.
You have to have a good quarterback.
Yeah, I've never heard you say
I don't
anything that suggests that payment and output are the same.
Yeah, I don't believe I ever did. I mean, we've had conversations. Do you have to pay this guy because it's market value, and then that's how the game goes, and he's up, and can you keep him? Yeah. But I don't believe I've ever said you've got to pay him as much as possible to be good.
And he listed Rodgers on that one, too. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
the guy got hurt.
Yeah. This says the Jets need to make a trade or a signing. Will Grier, Colt McCoy, Ryan Tannehill. Options are open. All right, which of those are better than Zach Wilson?
None.
None
like
of them.
to be their backup quarterback, okay.
Well, yeah, they're going to need a backup quarterback.
You're not on the Tim Boyle train.
Peter King brought up a really interesting option this morning in Matt Ryan.
I've heard that a number of times this morning.
Apparently, the Ravens were really close to signing him if they couldn't get something worked out with Lamar Jackson.
Do we remember how bad he looked in Indianapolis last year?
Oh, yes. So I was kind of surprised to see that, but I mean, if he's in shape and ready to go, it is a viable option.
I'm fine if he's going to.
How is that any different
than Tim
than
Boyle?
telling Zach Wilson, hey, just hand off the football? We'll get a statue of Matt Ryan in here
behind that offensive line that you don't think is that good.
Yeah, you need more than a second and a half.
Of all the options I've heard.
And by the way, Zach Wilson's the guy that at least move out of the pocket.
That's right. And evidently got better. Brady, you make the call, he's not coming. Of all the options I've heard, the only one that almost makes a little sense is Jameis. Jameis Winston. Why am I going to get Ryan Tannehill? Now, if you want to tell me Malik Willis, okay, is there one of the three that Tennessee doesn't want? Which would do they not want, Levis or Willis? I'm interested. What's it going to take to get one of those? You don't like that?
No. You have Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I don't.
If you need to bring in a veteran backup because you want that, okay. None of these names are better for that up. And now we're talking Jameis Winston. Dude threw 30 interceptions.
No, back him up. I agree with you. I don't
bring in Jameis Winston. That's not a backup play. Because New Orleans isn't going to trade him. He's their backup. Why would they trade him? Jake Hayner's suspended.
Is there a good quarterback on a bad team?
Gardner Minshew is one that I kind of wonder about because they're
all right. I'm listening to that a little bit.
Colts are obviously all in with Richardson, and Jake Ellinger does know that.
And he's won games in the NFL. Go down that list and why Gardner Minshew actually makes sense if you've got thoughts on where they should go. But I think the answer is Zach Wilson right now. 505-246-0610. That's how to get here today. Probably should give you numbers at some point. Area code 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Where do the Jets go now? I think they look inside. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
On the text, Lenny says Nick Foles or Carson Wentz to the Jets. A quarterback with Super Bowl experience may help. I got to believe we're talking about his backup. You want Carson Wentz as your backup now? I think you can do worse than Carson Wentz's backup. A lot of the names, like if you say Carson Wentz or Matt Ryan, who do you want right now?
Carson Wentz.
Don't you as a backup?
Probably. Yeah, I'd flip a coin, but I'd probably be
Nick Foles. I mean, are we done with that yet? Yeah, he won a Super Bowl, but are we done?
I'd take Wentz over Foles.
I would too.
I think we are done with Foles. He's barely coming up anymore.
Jeff says two things. How do you think that left tackle feels after he didn't even touch his man? He blew right by him, and Rodgers went down for the year. Number two, Rodgers will be back. He has a $400 million 4-year contract. First 2 years guaranteed, $150 million, whether he's injured or not. Not sure about his retirement deal, but for $150 million, he'll have surgery, rehab, and come back for next year. I'll be shocked he walks away from $150 million. That's not right. Rodgers' deal is a 3-year deal, $112.5 million with 75 guaranteed. It's not four for 400. JJ,
He's not making $100 million a year.
No, you're looking at the same thing I am, right?
Yes.
All right, it's 3 years, 112.5, guaranteed 75. So even if he doesn't come back next year, he's getting $75 million. We got hurt playing football. Annual salary. Do you know what his salary is this year, by any chance?
It's like $1.5 million.
1.8 million. Now he's getting $36.8 million this year. He gets another $38.1 million next year, but it's not salary, it's bonuses. However the hell they do that for the guaranteed $75 million. And then his cap hit in 2025,
it's like 60.
$51.5 million. Like their window is this year and next year.
And let's not forget the $60 million that Green Bay paid him to leave.
No, dude. I mean, he's good. This is going to be one of those where, there's going to be a whole lot of Aaron Rodgers, and you're going to see him in a lot of places. And can I say this? Yes, I can. It's my show. But I think he's handled the Jets situation really well. You can argue you didn't like how he handled leaving Green Bay. You can whatever. I feel that he's done everything right with the Jets, and it's been really public, right? He's done New York, he's done that, but it feels like he's been good with the younger players. As much as they said we're going to have Hard Knocks in here, but we're giving him minimal access, he embraced it. It feels like he played it to his advantage. It feels like he did it the right way. By every account, that roster loves him. Right? Have you heard one of those young guys go, whatever, that old arrogant bastard? It feels like whatever he did before. You want to talk about the vaccination and the semantics and the dark retreat or whatever. It feels like he did everything right since he got himself over to the Jets.
You can tell it just by looking in the crowd, seeing how many 8 jerseys. I mean, he won over that city real quick.
Right? A city that's pretty hard to win over until you win. Like, how many guys, I think of guys like A-Rod who went over there and he never, I mean, he was Alex Rodriguez, he never won it over. But how many guys go to New York and win them over without winning? Messier did it when he won, right?
I'm having a hard time thinking he won. You got to win in New York.
I don't. Is there a weird part of you that just? I mean, for me, and I don't even know if it's a weird part. I feel bad for the dude. Like, I feel bad for us because this was going to be a great story, but like somebody said, I don't remember who it was. Damn it, I'm watching Hard Knocks. I didn't want to like Aaron Rodgers, but he made you kind of. There was a soft spot for him, right? I mean, I don't like seeing dudes get hurt anyway. I feel bad when guys go down with gnarly injuries like that. But yeah, that's the story. Carson Wentz might be the answer. Never thought you'd say that. And when we come back, what did it mean for the NFL? So the Chiefs, the Bengals, and the Bills are all 0-1, just like you thought they'd be. Now what? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal. Your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
London. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
They're not that proud of us.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
All right, so we're trying to. What do you do moving forward? Aaron Rodgers is down. Will he come back? Was that the end? Is that how it all? I mean, everything about it. Just wow. I think this the shock factor. You know, you watch football, you've seen everything. Everybody expected something different, right? We sat here yesterday. You expected the Bills to win. You expected the Jets to win. I'm like, yeah, I think the Jets. The emotion's going to be big. It was 9-11. What's Rodgers going to do? They're going to run the ball? Is he going to throw the ball? Nobody said. And you just don't. You just don't think. 4 plays in, pop, Achilles. The opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and DC. Want your thoughts on the Rodgers situation? Is that it? He's got guaranteed money. Jeff said that he had seen ESPN and news reports last night and this morning reporting he's guaranteed $150 for 2 years. You probably know better. He was. He renegotiated his contract. He redid his deal. And then he said in a signing bonus, I can't remember exactly, but you guys can defer a percentage of the bonus down the road and eventually take it. Maybe the news reports are including the $60 million from Green Bay. I think that's right. But yeah, we just looked up his contract and what was it? What was the number? 75 guaranteed, 112 over 3 or something like that. Whatever it is. So where do they go? And want to hear from you. The biggest story obviously is Rodgers. What does it mean for the NFL?
How about them winning that game?
Well,
I get it. It feels like someone's died this morning.
Right.
I get it. It sucks seeing Aaron Rodgers tear his Achilles, but we're talking like this, and we're like, oh my gosh, it's Aaron Rodgers. He tore his Achilles. Like, the Jets won that game.
Yep. Was Zach Wilson a quarterback on a walk-off punt return from a guy you had never heard of before you watched Hard Knocks 3 weeks ago? Xavier Gibson. Kind of a star of Hard Knocks. He's got a nice little... He won the ping pong match, didn't he? I'm pretty sure he did.
But last night, right when Aaron Rodgers went down, we all had the jokes. And people were like, I'm going to bed. I don't have to stay up for this. This is great. Thank you. Talk to you tomorrow. Because people just assumed Buffalo's winning the game.
That's right. I did. You did. Peyton Manning did.
If you want to crown their asses, then crown them.
Yep.
Keep crowning the Buffalo Bills. And I'm putting that crown on myself. Because we're sitting here throwing out these names. Let's stop talking about backup quarterback. Zach Wilson is the starting quarterback for the New York Jets. That's going to decide if this team can compete for the playoffs. Not Gardner Minshew, not Matt Ryan, not a text to Tom Brady. It's, can this team be competitive with Zach Wilson? And that's the mental mindset. They thought they were playing for a championship this season. They wake up this morning bummed about Aaron Rodgers, but now they have to figure out, can we compete for a postseason berth? And how do you do that with Zach Wilson?
I don't know if this is an Aaron Rodgers tweet or who it's from, but there's something on the internet with Aaron
just
Rodgers.
a meme.
This is thanks for the memories. Yeah, there was 4 plays. You're right. Can I tell you what I think is even a bigger story? And the Jets winning is a big story. Who are the 3 best teams in the AFC? Oh, I mean, it's the Chiefs and the Bengals and the Bills. They're 0-3 combined. 0-1, 0-1, 0-1. Chiefs lost at home to the Detroit Lions. Bengals lost on the road to the Elves. Got pounded 24-3.
Lost to them Elves.
And, by the way, what did TJ show? Yes, he's wearing his orange Chuck Taylors and his little Browns hat. I'm like, you look like the elf. He's a big Browns fan. And then the Jets beat the Bills with Zach Wilson, a quarterback. Do I have to reassess the entire AFC after 1 week? I mean, is the best team the Dolphins, and are the Jets one of the best teams? And what about the first place? Never mind the first place, Las Vegas Raiders. That doesn't count. Is Jacksonville one of the best? Are the Browns the most underrated team in the AFC? By the way, yes is the answer to that. The Browns are the most underrated team in the AFC. They didn't get great quarterback play, but their defense, there's some great defenses now. Cleveland's is good. The Jets are great. Dallas is great.
Then you have to put the Jets in. If you say that sentence about the Cleveland Browns,
yes,
you have to say the same exact sentence about the New York Jets.
Do you believe enough in their offense and really in their quarterback play? All he's got to do is throw it up, and Garrett Wilson's going to make great plays. like the catch Garrett Wilson made. I mean, what? I can't agree with you more, dude. If you want to talk about football, we got to move forward, man. If you got Aaron Rodgers on your fantasy team, you got to go find another quarterback. If you're the Jets and you're the offensive coordinator and you're Nathaniel Hackett, you got to figure out how to win with Zach Wilson. And it's time to move forward.
I think I'd be looking at bringing a new offensive coordinator.
Well, they're not going to change offensive coordinators.
Aaron Rodgers was the OC.
Okay, so you would fire Nate Hackett right now?
Nate Hackett doesn't do anything.
Wow.
Did you see his play calling? As soon as he went down, it was run.
Well, they had to last night. They had to
last night. Were you going to let Zach Wilson flip it all around the yard? Of course they ran. And by the way, they ran really effectively.
I'm joking about Nathaniel Hackett, but the dude just carries water for Aaron Rodgers.
He does.
Okay, so let me go to DC's point first. They ran for 172 yards. You would have let him throw the ball around the yard, and you would have stayed with your original game plan?
172 minus 83 is 90. So you take out the outlier play, and that really was not effective. I think his play calling was complete trash. I wouldn't have let him throw it all over the yard, but you have to throw the football if you want the run game to work. It's very easy to close in on those two runners and force Zach Wilson to throw. I'd be doing that every time. I don't know.
Yeah,
he's got to open up the playbook.
I'm gonna give him the benefit because I wonder how much prep they gave Zach Wilson this week and how ready Zach Wilson was ready to go. And if that's the case, it's on him. Don't get me wrong. It's on Nathaniel Hackett.
100%.
I get it. But if he wasn't ready to go, I mean, he just took a guy who had the best seat in the house. He's like, damn, this is cool. It's 9/11. Look at everything that's going on. Aaron Rodgers out. The place is on fire. And wait, I don't even know if I have a helmet. Where the hell's my right? I mean, I'm going to give him a little bit of leeway on the way he called plays yesterday because I don't know what they were going to do.
It just shows a complete lack of preparation for this possibility, and I find that to be completely unacceptable.
All right, so would you go JJ's way now? I mean, were you kidding when you say if I'm Robert Saleh, basically?
Half kidding.
Okay. I mean, you're not changing the whole offense. Everything you just
Nathaniel Hackett only has a job because of Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, but he's your offensive coordinator. You're changing because your quarterback's gone. You're changing OCs?
You're not changing OCs.
Okay.
But
you were half joking.
I was half joking. Nathaniel Hackett only got the head coaching job in Denver because they thought they were going to let Aaron Rodgers.
Let me ask you this. How active will Aaron Rodgers be in the coaching and the game plan? And, I mean, he was pretty involved. It felt like, as we watched Hard Knocks, I mean, is he a de facto offensive coordinator as we move forward throughout the season?
That's such a crazy point I had not considered, but, I mean, he knows that offense better than Hackett does.
Well, and it feels like he's got a nice rapport with Zach Wilson. It feels like he likes Zach Wilson.
He was calling some plays on the preseason.
The first bomb that he
If I'm Zach Wilson, I want Aaron Rodgers.
Well, sure you do.
On the sidelines, but I don't know when we'll see Aaron Rodgers there next.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because he's got a lot to wrap his mind around. The Achilles surgery upcoming, the rehab.
What am I going to do with my... Yeah.
You know, I was reading about this. This is really similar to Dan Marino in Miami. In 93, he was like 37, 38. He had this happen. Same thing, ruptured Achilles. It was like week 5 or 6. A lot of people thought he was going for good, but he actually came back and played like 5 more years. So it's not necessarily...
How old was he?
I believe 37 or 38.
And he didn't have the amount of money in the bank that Rodgers does either. I do believe Rodgers will try to come back. I mean, that's my initial thought, right?
He was making that big glove money.
Yeah, I mean, it was big money at the time.
The isotoners.
Yeah, he was selling. Like, you know, if you could sell ice, what they say, ice to Eskimos. I mean, if you could sell gloves in Miami, you're a hell of a sales guy. They don't need gloves in Miami, dude. They don't need isotoners down there, but he was selling them. All right, can we look at the big picture on the AFC? 1 week, you more worried about Buffalo Cincinnati or Kansas City, the three favorites who are all 0-1. I think the answer is easy. Yes.
Buffalo.
Right? That was the worst loss, right? Now, you can sit here and try to convince me that Cincinnati was a worse loss. Theirs was it was a road loss to a team that supposedly isn't. I mean, the Lions are favored to win their division. The Jets were talked about to be a contender in their division. The Browns were that wild card team, right? Well, I don't know. What are the Browns? The Bengals loss was bad. But they still have Joe Burrow.
We're not panicking in here, guys.
I agree with that.
It's 1 week.
It's Buffalo,
It was
right?
bad. We'll get back on track.
Nobody ever
I
lost
believe that about Cincinnati. I don't know why Josh Allen is saying same bleep, same place, different day. That's not good. That was a long time ago that happened. That's a year. You're supposed to, boom, on to the next one. Not be thinking about what happened there last year.
I love me some Josh Allen. I do. But he was bad yesterday. Like, concerningly bad. And that's, by the way, Joe Burrow was bad too, but I'm not as concerned. I don't know why. Because I trust him more?
Yeah. Well, because with Joe Burrow, there's at least something to look at and say he had a calf injury. There's a difference to me between not playing in the preseason and not getting to practice in the preseason. I think the conditions, the good Cleveland defense, that led to a disastrous day for Joe Burrow. There were no excuses for Josh Allen. Yeah, it was a tough defense, but we view you as a top 3 quarterback in the AFC. This is a division game. We know the Jets have been tough on you and what you've done to Stephon Diggs the last couple of seasons. But then to not have any counter, to not have any answers, that looks so poorly on Josh Allen and the Bills. And that's one of those games where if I'm a coach, like, away from everyone, I'm going to Josh and I'm like, are you okay, man? Like, is there something else going on? Because you did not look invested in this football game.
Who are you most concerned about? Chiefs, Bills, Bengals?
Definitely the Bills.
It's easy, right?
Yeah, I saw that game and I started wondering, moving forward, obviously the turnovers are a problem. They have to address that. Their defense did look good, though. And honestly, Cook out of the backfield looked really good. And that's the first time they've had what seemed to be a competent runner back there in a while. So there are some things to look at in the positive, but for me, it all goes back to Josh Allen. And he's got I understand the gunslinger Brett Favre mentality, and he's always competitive and he's always going for it, and I like that. But he's got to do a lot better with his decision making if they want to be what they're supposed to be.
Common sentiment is the AFC is better than the NFC, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's 16 teams in each conference. 1 week. I'm not going to overreact. I'm just going to give you facts. There's 16 teams in each conference. The AFC teams, only 6 of them won a game. 6 out of the 16 won a game. Look, what does it mean? I don't know what the hell it means. Because next week we'll be sitting here and going, everybody's 1-1, right? And, oh, man, this many 0-2 teams make the playoffs. That's pretty startling.
But how many of them were against other AFC teams?
The Jets was, the Dolphins was, the Browns was. Who the Ravens beat?
Texans.
So theirs was. Jacksonville beat the Colts. So theirs was, and the Raiders. All of them were. That means they won no out of conference games. None. Yeah, whatever that's worth to you. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. If you want to get in on the Rodgers injury, let's go. But is this more about, when football-wise, never mind, it's hard to say never mind the Rodgers injury, but football-wise, bigger story. Jets won the way they did, or the Bills lost the way they did. I want to get into that when we get back, because this is big, and then we'll get you injury updates, because there's a bunch of them coming out of week 1. So we'll do that next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. You're home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football. How's your vehicle? Now with the rain, you're going to drag in all this mud and schmutz and dirt and gunk. When the rain's gone, call my good friends over at On the Spot Automotive Detailing and have them take care of this. Get your vehicle ready for the fall. They will get all that mud out of the carpet and all the crud out from in between the seats, and they'll make your car look brand new. And the beauty of them, On the Spot Automotive Detailing, they do it on the spot. They come to you when it's convenient for you, where it is convenient for you, and detail your vehicle. And that means when they're done with it, it looks and it feels and it smells like the day you took it off the lot, like it's brand new. They also offer a 10% discount to our military and to teachers. I love On the Spot. You will too, and it's a great gift. A great gift is, I tell you all the time, I think a great gift is something people love that they might not buy for themselves, and this is it. On the Spot Automotive Detailing. Learn more and schedule online at otsdetailing.com, otsdetailing.com.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange, the latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
All right, there's other injuries in the NFL. Your tight end at Denver, Greg Dulcich, out for weeks. Hamstring. What's with all the hamstrings this year? Deontay Johnson, hamstring. Aaron Jones, hamstring. Cooper Kupp, hamstring. I mean, it beats the hell out of the Achilles, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, does it feel like there's just a lot of those?
Well, it is a sport where you need explosiveness.
It is.
Sometimes you think you're ready, but the body's like, nope.
And here's what I got for you. Austin Eckler, Chargers, running back, ankle injury, unclear status for practice this week. Scoop up Joshua Kelly if you can. Anthony Richardson, number 4 overall pick, quarterback, Colts. Remember he left the game. We were talking about how he was the best rookie this week, but he left the game with an apparent lower body injury. Gardner Minshew came in. Evidently he's okay, won't miss any time. J.K. Dobbins, Ravens, ankle injury. He's out for the year with Achilles tear. Done. Tyler Lockett, Seahawks, possible concussion. We'll see. Aaron Jones, UTEP, Packers, hamstring injury. Remember he had that 35-yard touchdown catch and grabbed his hamstring. Supposedly, it's not that bad. He should be able to play this week. We'll see. Deontay Johnson, number 1 receiver, Steelers. Left the second half against the 49ers. Hamstring. He's out. And, JJ, how long are we seeing for him? Weeks,
Couple
right?
weeks.
Yeah, weeks. Jacoby Myers, Jimmy Garoppolo's favorite target, got just blasted. Stayed on the ground. He's in concussion protocol. Probably will miss this week. Pat Freiermuth, tight end, Steelers. Shot to the chest, questionable for this week. So we got a lot of dudes. Just like, what are we doing? Cowboys. I was thinking about what's next for the Jets. As you were telling me, DC, on Nathaniel Hackett's play calling, and I'm like, all right, well, next week he'll be better, and they'll figure out. Think of the Cowboys this week. Are the Cowboys licking their chops with Zach Wilson coming in? They thought they were going to play Aaron Rodgers this week, and it was going to be interesting. Is that a letdown or a let up that you're not going to get Aaron Rodgers? You're going to get Zach Wilson.
It's you know
what I'm saying?
We're going to add to our sack total game.
Goodness gracious. I mean, if you got the Dallas defense, play them.
Yes, play the Dallas defense.
So, all right. So be Nathaniel Hackett. You don't like him. I get it. You guys are Bronco fans, and you don't like him. What do you do?
We have eyes, Jeff.
No, I get it. As a head coach, he was bad. And I don't know if he's a good coordinator. I do agree with you. He was there to help lure Rodgers and all that. But what would you do then? What's your game plan with that guy going into Dallas?
Power football.
Right?
Moving the pocket. Getting Zach Wilson outside.
Quick releases.
I want 12 personnel pretty much all the time. Allen Lazard, Garrett Wilson, quick routes. Trying to find an explosive play with Garrett Wilson. It's my game plan.
If it all comes together, that actually probably would work.
Well, that's what you got to do, right?
Yeah, that is what you have to do, because I look at that Cowboys defense, and I'm just thinking, like, are they going to get 5 turnovers? Are they going to get 10 sacks? Like, it is going to be a feast for them.
By the way, you better get a backup quarterback because Zach Wilson may get the hell beat out of him.
And it's funny you say that because, it was late in the third quarter where he went down kind of awkwardly, and they started talking about Randall Cobb taking snaps.
Right.
Like, that's a bad spot to be in week 1.
And they win the game. I mean, it's kind of crazy how it all goes down. But that's what's next. That's what's sitting on the counter next for them is a trip to Dallas, and they get to go do that game. It's just, I mean, good luck. Nathaniel Hackett's got to wake up this morning and completely change everything he's doing because he's got to change everything he's doing.
Hopefully Aaron Rodgers will send him the game plan for next weekend.
Well, Aaron Rodgers will help. I don't know what you want him to do. All right, we got a sweet deal for you. Maybe this would help. I don't know. Does this help with Achilles? It's a sweet deal. And I think you're going to really like this. It's the Salt Cave. It is salt therapy. And you go to our website, sportsanimалabq.com, click on the sweet deal icon, do it at 9 o'clock, and you get $40 at the Salt Cave for just $20. April is here. Good morning, April.
Good morning.
Salt Cave. So a lot of things come to my mind. What is the Salt Cave?
So the Salt Cave is Albuquerque's hidden gem. So what we have is a salt cave that fits up to 8 to 10 people. There's over 6 tons of Himalayan salt. We have you sit back, relax. We use a salt blend that we push through the air, nice deep cleansing breath, and we're working on your respiratory
All right,
system.
so much in there. Salt cleansing buzz, cave, Himalayan salt. Okay, so is it a room or is it a cave?
It's a
I want it to be a cave so
It is a
badly.
cave,
Like
yes.
built into the ground, like I get to go now.
So we tried to make it look as much as possible as something outside of your
Yeah.
everyday life.
Himalayan salt. Yes. So how do you get it? What's so special about Himalayan salt as opposed to, I don't know, Morton salt?
So Himalayan salt is very cleansing,
Yeah.
and it definitely does wonders as far as helping people breathe. Also helps really with people with anxiety, depression, common cold, seasonal allergies, you name it.
I can't tell you how much I love the concept of this. So a basic salt therapy would be how long you go to your place, which is over off of Wyoming and Paseo. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right. You go by there. And how long is a basic therapy? And who would this be good for? So you got listeners just going, wait, what are we talking about? But it feels like it's going to do good for a lot more people than maybe people realize.
That's right. So there's not an age restriction. Anybody can come to the Salt Cave. And you spend 45 minutes in there just relaxing and enjoying the Himalayan salt. And
45 minutes just chilling. Is it dark? Is it light? Is
dark,
it cool? Is it
yes.
warm? Is it?
It's dark. We do try to keep it pretty cool, so we do offer blankets for you while you're in there.
Yeah.
We have a nice little starry sky to take a look at.
So it's like the Aaron Rodgers darkness retreat. Yes. I mean, doesn't it kind of sound like
I think
that?
Aaron Rodgers might be showing up after his Achilles injury with something like this, and a lot of people's first experience is going to be through this sweet deal. Like, do you see? You start to feel it after a few sessions. It's one of those things that you want to try a few times, or is it like right away?
Well, you do have benefits to your first visit, but coming more often definitely helps with a lot more of the treatments that we're looking for.
April, we got our audience. It tends to, for a sports animal, it tends to be men, and I know guys are going, "Wow, this will be great for my woman, for my girlfriend, my wife, my whatever." This is great for men too. Like, fellas, relax. You get petties now. You get treatments. This is great for men too.
This is absolutely great for men. Yes.
And so a guy, is it an anxiety? Is it a breathing thing? You said seasonal allergies.
Seasonal allergies, common colds.
I'm fascinated by this. Like, I'm coming. No, I am. I am. What's your website so people can go take a look at
So
this?
it's saltcaveabq.com.
Easy to spell. SaltCaveABQ.com. And it sounds affordable. It's for the sweet deal is $40. You spend 20, you get 40, and a session, 45-minute session is how much?
$40.
So you get a session for $20, and you just get to go chill in the middle. Do you have to make an appointment?
We prefer if you have an appointment. Sometimes we can do walk-ins.
Dude, I'm in.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm so in. All right, take advantage of this. I'm going to. It is the Salt Cave. It's over on Paseo and Wyoming. The website is saltcaveabq.com. Fellas, ladies, this is something, take 45 minutes out of your day and take care of you and take advantage of the sweet deal. Go to sportsanimалabq.com, 9 o'clock. Click on the sweet deal icon and take advantage of the Salt Cave. And for nothing else, because it's Himalayan salt and you get a salt buzz. Is that what you told me?
That's right.
All right, April,
Yes.
great to see you.
Thank you.
When we come back, going to whip you around what else is going on in the National Football League. And it's a big rivalry week around here. And who needs this more? We got to have this conversation too. Aggies, Lobos. We've heard from the Aggies offensive coordinator today. Who needs it more? It's next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal. Your home for Thursday night and Monday night and Sunday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Text line says Nick Foles to the Jets. We'll see, man. Somebody's going to go as a backup. By the way, this Salt Cave place looks amazing. Like I'm in. And it does look like a little cave. You just sit there in the salty cave. The foot detox, the infrared. I'm in. Buy your sweet deal. All right. So opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and DC. It's a big week locally. DC, best rivalry you've ever been around in your in your sports career?
That's a good question. Iowa State, Iowa in Iowa City at the Ped Mall. That is a whole lot of fun.
It's a good one. We do this on a regular basis, and I know we've done this, and people who come into town from elsewhere kind of scoff the first couple of times at this rivalry. New Mexico State means a lot to the people in this state, and I've done this game. I've been in this market now 27 years, so I believe this to be my 28th time I've been a part of this rivalry. I've watched both teams win. I've watched a lot of coaching staffs. What I do know, and I know a lot of players or people who played for these schools, it means a lot. I know people and who I call friends in both administrations. I know how important it is. But JJ, I'm going into this one. This is the first time. That's probably not right. The first time I can remember, how about that? Where both of these teams are looking at this game as pivotal to getting to the postseason realistically. Now, you may tell me the Lobos are not realistic. We haven't seen enough yet. And that's a fair argument, right? You haven't seen enough. But I know both teams are looking at this as a pivotal game in getting to the postseason.
Absolutely. New Mexico State did not think they would be 1-2.
No
they
way.
thought they'd be 2-1 coming to this game at worst. Or
At
maybe
worst.
even 3-0.
Yeah.
With the Liberty game. For the Lobos, they knew that they were going to be 1-1, and this was going to be their first test of the season. And the next 2 weeks, but really this week, if the Lobos lose this week, they lose the fan base.
If they lose this week, so what if it's a close game? They lose.
They lose this week. They lose the fan base.
Really?
Yeah, because people aren't going to care that you're going out to UMass.
It's a fragile fan base.
And then you're coming back for Mountain West play, and you could win a few games of Mountain West play. It's not going to matter. If they lose this game, they lose the fans.
So you think that it goes to who is it more important for? And you think it's New Mexico. Okay. If the Lobos win this game, they've got a path, right?
They have a chance to keep people interested. Like, okay, beat your rival.
A rival.
See what happens on the road at UMass, and then Mountain West play. But if they lose this game, people aren't going to give them a chance again.
I mean, look, here's what's coming up. You're going to Massachusetts next week. Hard game, winnable, right?
Very winnable game.
All right, it losable.
For the Lobos, yep, because we don't know what this incarnation is going to be against the like opponent.
You're going to Laramie. Cowboys look pretty good. They beat Texas Tech up there. They've got Texas this week, but we'll see. San Jose State. I don't know what they are. They got beat by 2 Pac-12 teams and beat the heck out of an FCS. I don't know what they are. Hawaii, winnable. Nevada, ultimately winnable. UNLV, I'm not sure. I don't know. They beat an FCS. They lost to Michigan 35-7. Boise State on the road. Fresno State on the road. And then Utah State. Utah State put up 70-something points this weekend.
But none of that matters if you lose this weekend.
Well, it's incredible.
For the fans.
For the fans. So you think you complete it's
you
basketball
lose the
season.
Fan base.
Wow.
If they lose this game.
A Lobo fan. Now, I'm not asking like Rudy or those of you who are just, you're in 100%. But those of you who you like Lobo football, you want to see them win. Do you agree with what JJ's saying? Like he says, if they don't win this weekend, you're out. Is that right? Is it how do they play? How do they win? How do they lose? Or is this they got to win the season for me to be in? Because that's a big deal. So what you're saying then, because New Mexico State, while they've got to win 7, okay, this would be to start 1-3 would be really tough. But I look at what they've got. They get Hawaii on the road, winnable. FIU, winnable. Sam Houston, winnable. UTEP, ultimately winnable. Louisiana Tech's winnable. Middle Tennessee is a tough one at home. Western Kentucky on the road, probably not winnable. At Auburn, probably not. And then they close with Jacksonville State. They need this too.
Yes, they do. They both need to win this game.
Bigger for, you contend it's New Mexico, huh?
Now, getting to 7, you could say, well, it's bigger for the Aggies, but that does not take away that if the Lobos lose this game at home, if you're a Lobo fan that is waiting to see Bayern, is waiting to see, what else are you hanging on to after that?
Well, what would I be hanging on? I mean, I got 9 games left in the season that, unless they get blown out of this building, unless
they could lose this game by 1.
But what
you
else
still lose to a rival again.
No, I get it. But what else am I holding?
Like, we've
on
been
to?
around here long enough that you cannot play the glass half full game of football.
If they look better, and what else am I holding on to? I got 9 more football games that I think I can win. But you don't care,
Jeff? We've done this long enough.
Yeah.
You cannot play that game with Lobo football fans. Like, we're broadcasters. We love football. We're there. I'm going to be at practice today. I'm going to be talking to this team. They lose to New Mexico State. Like, UMass is going to be out of sight, out of mind for a lot of people. And then they're going to look at Mountain West play going, well, can't beat our rival. Here we are again. Like, people aren't going to give them that chance.
It's interesting. Dan, how you feeling? You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Dan.
Morning, Jeff.
Good morning.
JJ. Hey, so that's like really hard. That's like really hard to hear what JJ's saying, but it's so real, man. It's real. I mean, I would become very disinterested if they lose this weekend. And he's just saying what maybe a lot of us just aren't willing to say. You know, but hell, Jeff, I'm getting disinterested in the Seahawks after this last weekend. You know? But that's how finicky we are. But yeah, I mean, they have to, bro. JJ's spot on, dude. He knows the Lobo fan, bro. We are. That's just, if they don't win this weekend, it would just be really hard to stay. Oh, come on, guys, on board. You know.
So if they lose a 1 possession game and win it at UMass next week, you're still out. You don't care about league play.
Well, no, it's not that I don't care. It's not that I don't care. I'm a Lobo fan forever, but I'm using the word disinterested. You know what I mean? Like he's right. I mean, if you can't beat State and you go get into conference play, we're probably not going to be very strong in conference play if we can't beat State. We need to beat the Aggies this weekend. I think it's a must-win, just for fan base, for the season as a total, everything around it. You know what I mean? We need to win this game.
Got it. All right, Daniel. Thank you.
Okay. Later, guys.
So I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I've been around a lot of practices, talked to a lot of people. Everybody, well, not everybody. A lot of people I've talked to have been pointing at that game. I mean, for the last month and a half, 2 months, it's all about that third week. It's all about that third week, which backs up what you're saying. You always look at it from your perspective. I look at it and say, well, they need this game. It's a big game. But if they can somehow come 2-2 out of this, beat UMass on the road, go into league play, are there 4 games that they can win in league play? You look at it, well, I mean, Nevada, Hawaii, right? There's games that you can win. I don't argue with you. It's huge. How they play, I think, is going to be a big part in regards to the fan base. But yeah, I think I see where you're coming from. It's all about so they can get outplayed and win like the Jets did last night. Everybody's gonna be happy.
Yeah, because then that gives you an opportunity to come out of non-conference play 3-1.
If you can go out there and win. All right, Lobo fan, I'm really, really interested. Do you agree with JJ? Is this it? You lose the fan base if you don't win this weekend? And are you going out? Like, are you interested now? This is the weekend. You should have a great atmosphere. This is the
also
weekend.
Another part to it.
Yeah.
Like, you're getting everyone's attention this Saturday.
You should. This is the weekend. This is a really, really fun weekend out there. remember whatever year it was, you and I out there at that tailgate when it was a Lobo Aggie game and walking around going, this is what college football's supposed to be like. RVs, tailgates, people everywhere smiling, having fun, drinking their hand, people, just everybody in a good mood. Packed. You got to win out that atmosphere. It's a big, big weekend. But do you believe what JJ's saying, that if you don't win, you lose the fan base? 505-246-0610. That's how to get to us on the text line and on the phone line. Jeff or JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. 9 o'clock is when we'll do the Red Zone. DC's put together some big stuff coming off of now the complete full week of the first full week of the National Football League. We'll do that at 9 o'clock here on The Sports Animal, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football. Hey, you got an alarm at home, right? You got probably at your business too. You got cameras and everything. The bummer around here is it's not enough. You need IPS. That's why I called IPS years ago, International Protective Service. They patrol my home. Now my neighbors have hired IPS. They patrol their home. If the alarm goes off, they're there within 5 to 7 minutes with trained armed security officers. If anything happens, they're there. Things like in the middle of the night, the garage is open and they come by and they do not leave and they call you until somebody comes down and closes the garage so the bad guys don't go in your home or steal your stuff or my golf clubs disappear. You know what I'm saying? That's what they've done for me. IPS offers standing guards and 24-hour patrols to protect your home and protect your business. They respond quickly to alarms to prevent loss and damage to property. Private security can save you money. Call IPS, see what they can do for you. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com. IPS is making Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and work. This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clarks understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clarks is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
What just happened here, Jeffy? Says Bruce on my text machine. How did we go from 94 degrees at post time 2 days ago to this garbage? all of a sudden it feels like autumn, doesn't it? What's today's date? 11, 12? I mean, we're 9 days away from officially going into fall, aren't we? So that's what happens, Bruce. Welcome to Nuevo Mexico. Carl says New Mexico State equals Holly Holm, Jeff. I think New Mexico State needs this, or you can close the book on this edition of Aggie Footy history. They'll go downhill like Holly as a one-hit wonder. Holly's not a one-hit wonder, by the way. If they don't beat Lobo football, where's NMSU getting wins? Jacksonville State? Maybe UTEP? Holly's a Hall of Famer in boxing, right?
Yes, she is.
Isn't she a boxing Hall of Famer? Now, MMA career, she'll be remembered for one of the most stunning moments in combat sports history. Is that way too much?
No.
When she beat Ronda Rousey, one of the most stunning moments. I mean, I'm not telling you it's Buster Douglas beating Mike Tyson, but
it was up there for a lot of people.
It's kind of like that, right?
It ignited a new era of women's MMA in the UFC because it was just Ronda Rousey being the best athlete on the planet in the octagon at that point in time. And I remember we had Carlos Condit in studio a couple weeks before that fight, and that's what he pointed out. It's like Ronda Rousey's just out-athleting all these fighters.
She was ending fights in 20 seconds.
Just boom, get in there, jump on the armbar, end it. And what Holly Holm did was show that in the women's fight game, you have to be a fighter to evolve and move forward. And she changed the game.
Well, she made it that way. Yeah. DC, that was a week where Stigler was in, and the bet was, will Holly make it out of the first round with Ronda Rousey? I said, absolutely she will. Stigler says, no way. And then that happened. You weren't here then. That's one of the greatest nights in Albuquerque sports history. Holly beats Ronda Rousey, and the Lobos beat Boise State on the blue that night as 26-point underdogs or whatever they were. Yeah, that's what we got to hold on to. It was a pretty good night, though.
It's a heck of a good night.
Damn near blew that game, too. Remember that? Last play. All right, we're going to go about Red Zone. We come back. Big stuff in the National Football League. What do you got? DC's put together some stuff. And, of course, the latest on Aaron Rodgers. And what do? You're welcome to get in at 505-246-0610. Glad you're with us on a beautiful, rainy, cool, chilly, autumnal Tuesday morning on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Thursday night and Monday night and Sunday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
For surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets. because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Proud of us. Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
All right, we're all waiting final word of what we believe will be a season-ending injury to Aaron Rodgers, but everybody's acting as if it's over. Significant Achilles injury, and the Jets win. Robert Saleh, the coach, quote, MRI is probably going to confirm what we think is going to happen, so prayers tonight, but it's not good, end quote. Opening drive, Jeff, JJ, NDC. You're welcome to get in today, 505-246-0610. Respond to what you saw last night. A couple things on the table. Lobo fan asking you, Lobo's got to win tonight, this weekend against the Aggies? Or they lose the fan base? That's what JJ said. It's an interesting point. Are you in? Are you even in this week? Lobos and Aggies should be fun this week. Are you in? And then get in on what you saw last night. Zach Wilson's the quarterback. The Jets, I got to believe, are going to go with Zach Wilson, but who's the backup? Carson Wentz? Do they go to, there's a call to Tom Brady, I'm sure. Tommy's kind of going, right? Probably a little Tom Brady. I'm good. Or is he tempted? You think there's any part that tempts him?
It's a good team. It's a really good team. If you're going to step on, it's a championship level team.
You going up against Bob Kraft right there. He just threw you that party, and that's something. All right, let's go in the red zone here on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy? I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this game.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Let's go, baby!
It's first and goal.
All right, what a week in the NFL. I've been hearing a wide variety of reactions to the first week of the NFL season. Some have been calling the first weekend trash, while others have praised the parity that exists in the game currently. So now that games are in the books, what grade do you give the NFL for week 1?
B-. Like, it's week 1 of the NFL season. There's going to be rough patches. There's going to be unexpected injuries. Look at Monday Night Football. But I'm just happy it's here, and we get to react and break it all down.
I'd like to know what was trash, aside from the Giants. What was trash?
Good teams getting beat.
Well, but see that's
the beauty of the game.
That's the beauty of every game to me, is when the teams that's why we got 32 damn teams here. Right? That's why you play the game. Oh, it's a different one. I give it a B+. I thought there were some intriguing storylines. I thought the Dolphins-Chargers game was terrific. The Monday night game, look, all the drama that went into that. There was some, the Broncos play bad games when they play the Raiders. That's just what that is. I thought there were some games that were really good, some games that were all right. To me, when those favorite teams lose, that's when the intrigue starts. I give it at least a B+.
Yeah, I give it an A. I love everything about it. This is going to be a very interesting season.
Yeah, I got nothing to complain about.
Second and goal.
Ready, down, put.
All right, things changed fast in the AFC East after Rodgers went down. With Tua looking sharp, Josh Allen making bad mistakes, the Cougar Hunter at QB1, and Mac Jones keeping it close against Philly, feels like anything can happen in the East. So when all is said and done, where does each team finish in the AFC East?
I got Miami winning it. I told you going in, I thought Miami was better than Jets. Miami. I think Buffalo figures it out. I just don't know whether I got enough confidence in Zach Wilson to jump Buffalo and do this long term. I got Miami, Buffalo, Jets, New England.
Oh, I have Miami, Buffalo, New England, the New York Jets. And I think with New England and the Jets, they're going to be battling it out, 7-8 wins, a week or two, still in the hunt for an AFC wildcard spot because that defense is that good in New York.
3rd and goal.
All right, well, the Jets lost their quarterback. The Chiefs got back one of the best defenders in the league. Yesterday afternoon, Chris Jones agreed to a 1-year deal to rejoin the team. Were you surprised by the deal that Chris Jones signed? And does he stay in Kansas City beyond this year?
No, not surprised at all. And yes, he stays in Kansas City beyond this year because for Kansas City to be successful, they have to invest in specific areas. That is defensive line, that's protecting Patrick Mahomes. That's where the right investment is to continue to try to push for championships with Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. And one of those players that's going to get the bag is going to be Chris Jones.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all that he got paid like this. I'm not as convinced because I don't know what their cap play is. I know they're talking about re-upping Mahomes and how much money is there and how many guys can you pay and what are you doing with Kelsey and who's getting the money. I'm not as convinced as you are that he's staying, but
Mahomes has a $500 million contract.
Okay, and now there's bigger ones, and so they're going to try to make him bigger. I'm not as convinced he's staying as you are. I wouldn't be surprised. I would lean towards it, but I'm not convinced.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
All right, the Bengals, Chiefs, and the Bills started the season as AFC favorites. Each of these teams is also currently 0-1. Do any of these teams stumble enough to end up as a wild card or even fall out of the playoffs completely?
Absolutely wild card. I got the Bills finishing second in that division. I think Miami's better than them right now. Than what I saw. I don't think any of those teams fall out of the playoffs. I just don't, especially the Chiefs. They get that division. So I don't think they fall out. I still believe in the Bengals, although if the Bengals have another performance like next week, I'm going to start to question it. The Bills I'm a little concerned about, but I think they figure it out enough. I think their defense is good enough, especially when Von Miller gets back, that they get through and they're a playoff team, but I think they slip to a wild card.
I don't see any of these three teams not being postseason football teams. The Bengals, I believe in them because they have the second best quarterback in the NFL. There's too much talent there offensively for them to struggle all season long. Buffalo's going to find a way. As bad as Josh Allen was last night, as many turnovers as he has had over the last few seasons, it's still a team that finds ways to win double-digit football games. And I think even in a tight division, they're going to win some of those games that you don't expect them to win. Because last night was a game that once Aaron Rodgers went down, you didn't expect them to lose. But I still look at all three, the Bengals, Chiefs, and Bills, as playoff teams.
You see any of them falling out?
I'm starting to wonder about the Bills. I can see a scenario where one of these teams like the Chargers or someone on the fringe gets hot, and I could see a situation where Browns their defense is so
I'm
good.
just telling you, and I told you this a couple weeks ago, the Browns are the sneakiest team and the biggest wild card. And if they get quarterback play, and I told you this morning, I think they might be the most underrated team in the AFC. If they get good quarterback play, they've invested and drafted well on the defensive side. Their quarterback's not going to be good because he's got $250 million, but they paid the guy because they think he's pretty good, right? If they get quarterback play from him, and he wasn't great last week, but and I thought that contract was ridiculous when they signed him. But if he is 3/4 of what they think he's going to be, they're pretty damn good, dude. Their defense stymied. I understand it was raining, but you know what I also understand? It rained on Cleveland also. Like, it rained on both teams, right?
They're both Ohio teams. They're used to the rain.
I mean, they stuffed Cincinnati. Cleveland's that sneaky team to me after week one. Is there so what team after week one to the positive changed your mind the most? Like what team do you think after week one is, all right, that was they're better. They may be better than I thought. Because it's Cleveland to me.
I think Cleveland's a really good one. That defense is
the Rams
stout.
The other one to me.
Yeah, that's a really good point. The Rams, I mean, Matthew Stafford was the second highest rated PFF quarterback last week.
So JJ was making a point all offseason, and it's a really good point that I'm not sure I bought into. But you said that if Stafford's back, if he looks like Stafford, they're going to be pretty good. But the reason that they were so crummy last year is because he was bad and then didn't play, and they went through quarterbacks, right? They ran out Rippon and Baker Mayfield and whatever else they could find. And he looked good. And I didn't buy into that. First of all, I didn't think it was still there. And then they lose Cooper Kupp. I'm not going to go crazy on the Rams. They're going to probably get embarrassed because, first of all, the Niners always beat them, and they play the Niners this weekend. But let's see what the Rams are. I'm not going to go over the top, but they sure as hell looked a lot better than I thought they would.
Without Cooper Kupp.
Right.
And Matthew Stafford still threw for 334 yards. That was a statement that Matthew Stafford is far from done. People were saying he probably should just retire now. He had the elbow injury. It's pretty serious. Won his ring. The reason they were so bad last year is because he wasn't playing. Now, the 49ers, that's a different level. 49ers are the best team in the NFC right now. Like, that's the one team that we knew they'd be good. I think so many people were just wanted to find reasons not to believe in them because of Brock Purdy. Like, last pick in the draft, it's just a plug-and-play system.
Buy-in.
I watched that plug-and-play quarterback make 2 really good touchdown throws that weren't just dump it off and let Christian McCaffrey or Deebo Samuel run for 50 yards. But the Los Angeles Rams are going to have the pulse because Matthew Stafford's their quarterback.
So who impressed you the most? Like which team did you change your image the most in a positive way after week 1?
Be the Detroit Lions.
It's good.
Because we're talking about teams with hype and expectations, and you look at the Cleveland Browns. Well, I think the Lions are just the NFC version of the Cleveland Browns in regards to, okay, you did see progress defensively. It's an offense that really, outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown, they don't have a lot of options, but yet they can still create. And there's an exciting backfield. Jamar Gibbs is going to get a lot more touches because that dude is electric. Like, when you see him touch the football, there's like that heart-stopping moment. Like, if you take a bad angle, he's gone. And I know they were, even being the division favorites, it's still that hesitation. Like, are we going to buy into this? Are we actually going to buy into that? Road win at Kansas City, even without Chris Jones and Travis Kelce, is impressive to me.
Throw one more team in there. See what you guys think. Green Bay.
They definitely impressed. I need to see more from them, but I can see why they'd be on that list. That I don't think anyone thought they were going to go out and just
put up 38.
Yeah, put up 38.
No, it was a bad defense. It's a bad Bears defense.
I think we expected so much of Justin Fields. We didn't look at how far behind that defense is.
They're bad. It was as good as we talk about Dallas's defense, the Jets' defense, the Niners. There's some bad ones too. Chargers, Bears. All right, when we come back, I want to get into a little bit of which ones disappointed you. Which teams after week 1 do you think are not as good and you have less expectations? And Arizona's thinking huge. That Arizona, the Cardinals, with that team with that quarterback. Why are they thinking huge, and what does that mean? And it's next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Monday night and Thursday night and Sunday night football.
London's calling, and the Sports Animal has a daily chance for you to get registered for a London flyaway.
Olivas going to the corner of the end zone. Nice grab there by Josh Jackson, and that's going to be a touchdown, El Dorado.
Their strong point, their focal point.
Nelson will keep it himself for some room on the right side. Nelson's on his feet, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Noah Nelson.
Sliding, they slid out of going out there. Linebacker, they're going for the big gutter play.
How did he hold on to that, Ethan Olguin? My goodness, a 32-yard bomb. He's going to launch this one long, and it's a little bit short, but what a pull down. Fabian Trujillo. Unbelievable, this man.
Dyer, back to pass. Pressure, he gets out of it nicely. On the sideline, got an open man. It's Lambrana. Cheeto makes one miss. Cuts back up the middle. Another cut to the right, and he's all the way down at the 10-yard line.
Is that Sweet Pete Jr.?
Right?
Sweet Pete Jr. right
What a move there by Cheeto Lambrera.
Second and 1, give it to Gallus. Once again, he evades one tackle, evades two. Breaking into the open, there's a block, bye-bye. And he breaks the last tackle to get through. Jack Gallus with the touchdown.
Happy with his defense so far. Vukovic, and that ball is ripped up. Bernalillo will have this ball at the 1-yard line.
That's the extra yards for Cheeto. Dyer quickly, it's batted into the air, and it is picked off. Rams football as Rio Rancho finally gets the turnover they need as it's tipped into the waiting arms of Vicente Tafoya. Ryan Brown had punched it into the air and allowed Tafoya to come away with it. Let's see if Nelson can make it pay.
Right
No! LaCueva gets it back on another tip drill. It falls into the waiting arms of the senior Luke Ryder.
Kick is up. It will bounce into the arms of Daniel Garcia, and Garcia explodes through the middle. He dodges Castro, and Garcia will run that one back from about the 17-yard line. Call that one an 83-yard touchdown rush.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet.
246-0610. We're going to go there in a moment. Real quick, I want to finish this thought. Is there a team or teams that after week one you have dramatically lowered your expectations of what you thought? I've got two. Let me go first. I will. Seattle and Minnesota. I just, what on earth? And maybe the Giants. Seattle and Minnesota. Not only just to say Seattle get beat by the Rams, they got run out of their own built. And Minnesota let Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay come in there and do them. Those two teams I'm really concerned about. Where are you guys?
I don't think there's any other answers.
Yeah, Minnesota's very concerning right now.
Right?
I saw that game and I was thinking about last year's stat. They won everything within a score. It feels like this year it might go the other way. And there's a ton of competition in the North there. So I'm very concerned about the Vikings.
All right. All right, let's go. 505-246-0610. Hello, Rudy. You're on the Sports Animal. Good morning.
Good morning. Wow, what a game last night. Great weekend for the NFL, but it was like watching a balloon. It almost reminded me of the Hindenburg going down when they carted
Rodgers away?
Rodgers off, right? I mean, have you ever heard more people get more quiet? It was unbelievable. And then for them to fight back and win. But when you turn the ball over 3 times and punt for your 4 possessions in the second half, that's usually going to do you in.
Yep. You got a problem.
Had a really interesting conversation yesterday with Dylan Hopkins' father, Archie, who was in town.
Dylan Hopkins, the
He stopped by
quarterback,
the
of
office
course.
to talk to me.
The quarterback of the Lobos,
Yeah.
of course.
Yep. And Archie played for Virginia Tech. Did you know that?
Did not know that, no.
Yeah. And he played for Frank Beamer.
Okay.
And he said something to me, and he said one of the reasons why they were excited to come here is after meeting Danny and talking to him, that he reminded him of Frank Beamer in terms of his ethics and how he cares about the kids. And he said, they were going to, my sophomore year, they were going to run him out of town on a rail. And thank goodness we didn't. So everybody here, take a deep breath. It's rivalry week. I wish the Lobos all the luck in the world. I can't wish the Aggies any luck this week, but I'll wish them luck the rest of the season after we beat them this Saturday.
Right on, Rudy. Appreciate you. Thanks. By the way, Dylan Hopkins, Mountain West Offensive Player of the Week. We thought it was going to be Bill, didn't we?
Yes.
Corey Krosky-Merritt. They nominated the quarterback, Dylan Hopkins. And he's the Mountain West Conference Player of the Week. All right, you can keep coming at 505-246-0610. Then there's this. So this one caught my eye. You said Arizona's thinking huge. And I'm like, what do you mean Arizona? Like, which Arizona are we talking about? The Cardinals. Joshua Dobbs is their quarterback. Joshua Dobbs is their quarterback. He was on SI.com. And remember, they lost last week at Washington to the Commandos. Quote, I think a huge jump is in store. Just getting out there, getting the flow of the game right, getting the flow with the guys, timing, rhythm. The game's always different than practice sometimes, end quote. Huge jump. Is a huge jump in store for the Arizona Cardinals?
I don't have that much confidence.
Where's that coming from?
Joshua Dobbs has, but hey, when you're the guy, take it and run with it.
Well, it better be this weekend because they get the Giants at home, and the Giants are a wounded animal.
Yep.
Right? You better pounce on them because you know what they get after the Giants? If you look at their schedule? Home versus Dallas, at San Francisco, home versus the Bengals. Good luck to you.
Bit of a challenge.
Well, for anybody, especially a team that you think is the worst team in the league. And Joshua Dobbs is their quarterback.
And that's another thing about week 1, or just football in general, is what Arizona almost did to win that game on the road. Just bonkers.
Well, there's so much to be said for finishing, JJ. I look at some of the stories that we're not really telling. But what if New England, what if Butte's feet get down and New England finishes that drive off at the end and stuns the Eagles? We're having a whole different conversation about New England, aren't we? That division's upside down. What if Tennessee finishes a drive late and has some competency and beats New Orleans instead of loses 16-15? I think we're having a whole different, like, there were some close games, to your point, the Arizona-Washington game. But, Kansas City loses by a point. New Orleans wins by a point. I know you play to win the game. I get it. But there were a couple plays that go the other way, and we're having a different conversation about teams.
Football's football.
Football is football. 100%.
Anyone other than J.C. Jackson is playing defensive back for the Chargers.
No, that's fair. Football is football. AC says this is why the Jets can't have nice things. They break them. Oof. This is why we can't. I'm sorry. NFL, according to Sid, Mr. Symbieta, when Rodgers went down, you lost the face of your league. Commissioner Rozelle, or whoever's in charge now, making a call to Thomas Patrick Edward Brady to come back, right? They're all making a call to Brady. I just don't see it, dude. At some point, we got to stop going up that road, don't we? I mean, at some point, the dude's 46 years old, and it's like, all right, enough. Right?
I saw that guy called Patrick Mahomes.
He's a pretty good face of the league right now. He's on a lot of commercials. All right, here's an update. Rodgers has a torn Achilles tendon. It's all in red. It's all bright. It's everywhere. The MRI this morning confirmed. This came down just a few minutes ago. Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles, ending his season. It is now official. How much do you think that everybody's trying to figure out why this happened? Who do we blame? You know how nothing can just happen, right? There's always got to be blame. We got the text earlier. What about the left tackle? David Bakhtiari, the former Rodgers teammate, is screaming about artificial turf. I don't know if artificial turf caused this injury or not. He had a strained calf, did Rodgers, during OTAs in the spring. Same leg. Didn't miss practice time, but he had a sprained calf. The calf is, from what I understand, I don't know physiology that well, but directly connected to the Achilles. Can things just happen, or do we have to blame someone or something?
Things can just happen, but I think the conversation of turf is a real one amongst players.
I know it is a real one amongst players. And David Bakhtiari's talking today, because I asked you the question off the air. I mean, are guys not getting hurt on grass? They are. I guess the numbers tell you more on turf, and so that's something you've really got to look at. You know, we go with turf, especially in a stadium like that, because they have so much play, right? Remember when they switched University Stadium here from grass to turf about 7, 8, 9 years ago, right? Because
it's cheap, and you can understand the frustration,
right,
when you're a player.
Well, it's cheaper to maintain.
Yeah, and you can understand the frustration when you're a player because, as Bakhtiari pointed out, a lot of these stadiums are going to host the World Cup,
and they're going to go to
and
grass.
Guess what they're doing?
Yeah,
putting grass in for the World Cup.
Yeah, and you're like, well, why can't you maintain that? Now, I guess I understand grass is really hard to maintain in Buffalo in December, right? Pittsburgh does it.
Frozen tundra.
Right? But they do it. Is it better? I think it's a fair conversation. And then I'll extend it. Does it extend to college? I mean, the majority of college stadiums now are turf. The one we have here, the one that's down in Las Cruces, are both turf. All of the stadiums, except for Academy, locally, high school, are all turf, right? And Manal, everybody, and Bernalillo, everybody else is turf. They are, to your point, you put them in once, it's an expense, but you figure you're getting 8 to 10 years out of it. You don't have to water it. You don't have to grow it. You don't have to cut it. You don't have to mow it. You don't have to maintain it. You don't have to chalk it, right? It's painted once, and I don't have to worry about it. Understood budgets. Budgets are real. So are injuries. I mean, are we getting, and I know there's people at the turf companies saying, no, I got the stats to show you that our turf is safe, and the industry, right?
So I'm looking into this right now.
Yeah.
There are different kinds of turf.
Yes, there are.
In March of this year, they actually put this new monofilament turf in MetLife Stadium.
The stuff with all the damn pebbles that are on the quarterback's face every time they take a shot?
I'm not sure if it's quite like it was a few years ago, but I mean, it seems to be the same concept, I suppose. But yeah, this turfers grass deal is, I mean, I'm sorry, if you have $1 billion stadium, you can't maintain the grass. That just doesn't sit well with me.
Well, what are you reading? Do you see any stats that support one way or the other?
Well, no, this is just the announcement of the new turf that came on in March of this year at that very stadium. So.
Look, I'll give them this. There's been advances in technology from the old AstroTurf that was hard as a rock to the stuff that you got now. We've all walked on these turf fields, and you know they're filled with rubber pellets. But if the stats are going to show me unequivocally that we're having more non-contact leg injuries, knee injuries, and again, somebody's going to have to explain to me how last night was caused by turf. I mean, I don't know, I'm not sure I understand it. But then it's something that's worth looking into. And I get budgets, and I understand all that. But what's more important, budgets or safety of your athletes? When we come back, this is my favorite story of the football weekend. My favorite story of the football weekend. I think it's going to be yours too. A bar in Wisconsin, the state in which Aaron Rodgers used to play, ran a promotion last night If Aaron Rodgers and the Jets lose, we'll pay your tab. How'd that go? Next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football. Celebrate.
So you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This is...
Or plays into the game. People lose their mind. And they start boozing it up. And tabs started going up. And everybody's happy until a dude named Xavier Gibson returns a punt in overtime. Jets win, you lose, pay up. Gambling. It's my favorite story of the freaking weekend.
And this is so good. They had a reporter doing a live story, and he summed up the end of the night for the Packer fans.
I don't think that they were cheering for the injury bill as much as they were cheering for their odds of having a free night of booze on the house. They weren't going to have to pay for it. It was a thought, at least when Rodgers got hurt. I have a feeling that come tomorrow morning, a lot of these folks are going to wake up unhappy about the bar tab they had to pay, and unhappy that some of them showed up on video clapping and waving at the screen when a Packers legend got hurt.
And the headache that they've got from all the damn booze they drank.
Can you imagine the emotional roller coaster of that bar owner? Like, whew.
The place was packed.
There's a lot of top shelf we're covering tonight.
There, right? And he's going back to his supplier and loading up. And evidently this is going to go on all year. But it won't happen anymore because if Rodgers has to start the contest, it's done.
One and done. And you won.
You won
as an owner.
Bar, your mattress Mac. Dude, you won. What a night
because
they had.
Everything we saw, it wasn't like only draft beer.
No. It was your bar tab.
Your bar tab. Let's go.
Let's load me up on the Hennessy. I want the top shelf.
And
I want the 46. I want the 4 roses.
Everyone was doing that. They're like, right after Rodgers got hurt, they're
loaded
like,
up.
Oh,
keep them coming. I'm going to buy a round for the house. All right, you keep doing that. Wow.
You know, one time in Kansas City, they had a similar promotion with an audio, like consumer electronics store. And I think they were playing it was either Chargers or Raiders, but if they shut them out, anything you got that weekend was free. And they shut them out. And it was like well over $1 million worth of product. Now, granted, they had insurance on it, but like these little gambles are wild.
It's Mattress Mac down in Houston. Every year there's at the World Series, right? If the Astros win the World Series, everything you bought was free. And he's backed up. So he wins one way or another because everyone goes in and loads up. And he's insured on it. So if he loses, the insurance pays. And then he bets like ridiculous $7.5 million or something for the Astros to win the World Series, something crazy, and he hits on it. He hits on both sides.
That Mattress Mac is something.
Yeah.
He really is. And yeah, so he owns a furniture store, right?
Yeah.
So he's saying anything you buy, it's on the house if they win.
Yeah, whatever the time frame is, just keep your receipt and we'll reimburse you and you win it. Right? And if they lose, well, he sold all that merchandise. Winner. This is unbelievable. It's not your food tab, right? So you went in and you still had to pay for your food. I'm just going to tell you, and I know a lot of people who would have taken advantage of this, and you're watching all the drinks here. Although there is a lot of, I'm looking at the table. This fellow's drinking a White Claw. His buddy's drinking a White Claw. This guy's drinking a light beer from Miller. That's a certainly Milwaukee thing. A lot of light beer on the table, but this is right before Rodgers went down. I want to see the drinks after Rodgers goes down. There's a whole lot of Patron, high-end Maker's Mark, Blanton's.
That 25-year Macallan taste
right?
like.
Well, how's that taste like? Ooh, how's that taste like in the morning? You were sure they were going down. If you were there, you'd have loaded up too.
Well, knowing that you had to start drinking 15 minutes before the game, most of those people were a little primed up.
Already going.
Feeling good.
Already going. This is my favorite story of the weekend, by far. I came down this morning. If you missed it, it has been confirmed. What we all knew, Rodgers is done for the year, torn Achilles. And so where are you going? And I think the answer is Zach Wilson's your guy. Where are you going? I mean, you can try to go get Tommy. I don't see how that's happening. Jacoby Brissett better than what you got? Is Jameis Winston better than what you got? I think the answer is no. Is Carson Wentz better than what you got? Is Nick Foles better? Who else is out there? Who else? Matt Ryan coming out of the booth. I don't know. Is Boomer Esiason, can he still play? Steve Young? Where are we going?
Jacoby Brissett is kind of an interesting option.
Who's he backing up?
Deshaun Watson.
Would you rather roll with Jacoby Brissett?
Jacoby Brissett's with the Commanders.
Is that where he is? Yeah. All right. I mean, I'm looking at everybody's backup and going, what's it going to take to get that guy? If I think he's better than mine. If I think he's going to come in and start. Right? I just can't say I'm going to mortgage a bunch. If I need a backup, dude, if I got to go to number 3, I'm done.
If you're going backup, I'm not trading a draft pick for a backup quarterback right now.
What are you trading?
Nothing.
Well, you got to get something.
Then call Nick Foles or Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Free agents.
Who's the best backup quarterback out there? I mean, Cooper Rush? Do you like
you're only
Brissett?
trading something if you believe that Zach Wilson ain't that dude. And then you need someone like a Jacoby Brissett. You're like, I think this guy could win us games.
What were the last quarterback competitions? So the Davis Mills in that one, it was Baker Mayfield and
Kyle Trask.
It was Sam Howell and Jacoby Brissett, Anthony Richardson and Gardner Minshew. I'm just thinking of the last competitions that weren't decided. There's nothing there, right? I mean, there's just nothing there.
Now, if you're the New York Jets, you were able to play the game when you had Aaron Rodgers. And that was, this is going to be good for Zach Wilson. This is going to be good for his development. There's a reason we kept him around. Is there? Or was that just the easy thing to do? Because now you got to buy into, we think that we can salvage something with Zach Wilson because that's your season.
Well,
it's not going to be trading for any of these other guys. Like, they're not going to step in. Like, Zach Wilson has to be your best hope.
Andy Dalton. Yeah, I don't know where you think you're going.
Someone that you thought was good enough to invest in a number 2 overall pick in. You see what is there. Can you manufacture a playoff berth with Zach Wilson?
Mitchell Trubisky. Jared Stidham. You want Jared Stidham?
He's going to be the Broncos starter soon.
But he's not. You want Jared Stidham? Who's that do for you?
He's on a $20 million contract, too, or something like that.
That's kind of crazy. Yeah. This is your guy. Zach Wilson's your guy. When we come back, we'll wrap up everything you need to know as we go through your day. I'll get you what's called Roger's Hot Take on my email machine. Everything that you sent over this morning. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Rodgers torn Achilles out for the season. I know that's shocking, but that's what went down this morning. You guys are in this morning, 505-246-0610. Text line, why don't the Jets go get Colin Kaepernick?
LOL.
JJ and I actually talked to that before the show started, and I kind of wondered if his name would come up. I'm surprised it's
there. It is
10 minutes till the end of the show, and it finally did.
Why don't the Jets go get Colin Kaepernick? A, because he's been out of the game for 6 years, and there's better options. Is that A, or is A? Well, you know why. I mean, what's the answer? Is A, you know why, or is it it's not that damn good anymore? I mean, we need a quarterback who can come in and play. Like, how long would it take Colin Kaepernick, even if he could play? He's 36-ish years old now. Is that right? Even if you think he can play, how long before you think you can squeeze something out of Colin Kaepernick? Get rid of all the other stuff.
That ship sailed. It was you know why at that time for a year or two.
Right.
And then it was, well, he hasn't played, so why would we bring him back? And that's exactly what people wanted, and it's what they got for Colin Kaepernick.
Dude, we're hearing Carson Wentz, and we're hearing Nick Foles. Let's get old man Matt Ryan out. I mean, did you see Matt Ryan last year? I'm not telling you I think Kaepernick can play. I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. Nor do you, by the way. Right? None of us do. I'm going to guess you can't sit out of competitive football for 6 years and work out at a high school in a pair of shorts and a tight T-shirt and tell me you're in shape. But if you needed to win a game next week, honestly, your career's on the line. You need to win a game next week. I don't know that I know the answer. Matt Ryan or Colin Kaepernick, who you picking?
Matt Ryan. No hesitation. He played.
Really?
Yeah. He's played more recently. There's a reason why Kaepernick's not there, and, whatever that reason you believe it is, if he could play, he'd be on the team. So I'd take Matt Ryan.
See, I don't buy that.
I'm not sure I do either.
After 6 years, you don't think someone would say, "Hey, we really need a guy"?
No, I mean, if people believed in that, then they would have signed him 5 years ago.
Well, and that's why I'm saying that he doesn't have it. If he had it, someone would have signed him.
No, because he was getting blackballed from the league.
You don't think he was blackballed?
I don't know. It sure seems that way. I guess I'm thinking not so much in that moment, like the year or two after that. It's been 6 years. You know, at some point, if
the
he
Raiders
had it,
brought him in, right?
Now that ship has sailed, because it's to DC's point. Now it's like, why would we be risking our franchise or someone that stepped on an NFL football field for 6 seasons?
Yeah, I don't even know what the right situation would be at this point. Like, the Raiders brought him in for a workout, right? And they did not sign him. And I don't know why you would bring him in for a workout if you didn't think you would sign him if he was signable. I have no doubt that I think he was blackballed. Now, I don't think he was a great quarterback. He was a good enough quarterback that he took a team to the Super Bowl. He was that, right? He was athletic. We all know the story. I agree with you, DC, that if he was good enough 2 to 3 to 4 years afterwards, somebody would have signed him. I know you don't.
Because it was an easy excuse for teams. They go through that time not wanting to deal with Kaepernick and all the issues and everything he brings, because those are the issues that they care about, opposed to all the other crap that athletes do that they stay with forever.
There are some criminals that played football.
Yeah. And then when it got to year 3 and year 4, the next easy excuse is, well, he hasn't played in 4 years. Yeah. We can't allow him.
Well, we worked him out, and then a couple of guys. Remember, then he ran him around. He was like in Georgia somewhere, and he changed the site of his workout and ran out, and the scouts all just went bleep you, dude. Like who do you think you are? Yeah. I think, and I've said this so many times, he was going to come in as a backup quarterback, and I don't think anybody wanted the noise around a backup quarterback that he would have brought. I think that's more a reflection on how the fans handled things than the noise that would have actually just hurt a locker room. Well, whether
because the team would have been fine. Like, most of the players were on his side.
Yeah, I agree with the locker room. It's the noise. It's all the yes. I don't know when the cutoff was when it went from why to, well, he can't play. Whenever it was.
But it was an easy transition for the people that were done with him.
How often are you going to hear that name today?
Probably a lot.
Tom Brady is more realistic than Colin Kaepernick playing a snap for the New York Jets.
Ooh. First of all, neither are going to happen. Like the realistic meter is 0 on both of them, right?
0.001 with Tom Brady.
You really think so?
Hey, dude just is the ultimate competitor, man. Like, I think that in the back of his mind,
he says, "I got Dalvin
there's that
Cook
one
thing
that's like, can I do this again?
Yeah,
I got this defense.
I got that great defense. It's New York City.
I got Nathaniel Hackett.
Do I really like this not playing football thing? I don't know.
Aaron will be there, so I can kind of lean on Aaron and learn the offense a little bit.
He could step in and win games this week, I do believe.
No way, right?
No way it happens, but that is Tom Brady.
I'm single, and I'm back in New York City, and I'm Tom Brady.
He's single and ready to mingle.
I mean, all right. Text line. The notorious Warren Sapp once said you can tear your ACL walking your dog. Wilson has to show that this is his team now. This is from Sean and the New Mexico Jets fandom. And then I was reminded that Bernalillo is turf now. Moriarty is still grass.
So according to a study released by the NFLPA, in 2022, the rate for non-contact lower extremity injuries on artificial turf was 0.08 per 100. And the rate on grass was 0.035.
So there's a difference. There is a difference. Rodgers' hot take from Jack. I don't think he wants his career to end limping off the court. The good thing about getting hurt in week 1 versus later in the year is you have a full year of rehab before pitchers and catchers report in the spring. Okay. Jason says, not yet bulletin board material. Good morning, OD. JJ Buck is right on the money. The game is way bigger for those mangy mutts to the north. Not only is it big for continuing Lobo fan interest, but credibility for Danny Gonzalez. Most Lobo football fans are casual fans who view the Aggies as a bad football team. They don't see the improvement of NMSU or view Jerry Kill as a good coach. Let's be honest, beating the Aggies, Lobo fan believes, is a birthright. Here's a stat. Lobo football coaches who lose to the Aggies twice, Loxley and Davey, in their tenure, don't last. So this is big for Danny. Right now, Lobo football lacks credibility, starting with not recruiting an in-state kid who has been a program changer at New Mexico State, and ending with Danny telling anyone who will listen for 4 years now how great UNM football is. For them to have as many FBS wins, 5, as Lobo Hoops have 5 NCAA tournament appearances in 25 years, 5. For the record, both stats speak to the futility of both programs. 5 FBS wins in 4 years, 5 tournament appearances in 25 years. Who knew when Gonzalez boldly proclaimed drive for 5 when he was hired, he meant 5 FBS wins at the 4-year mark, but here we are. Live from Aggie Kirky and ready to paint the town crimson, Jason. He'll be in every day, dude. He'll be in every day this week.
I'm just surprised no one's getting back at him.
A little bit.
Oh, are they? Okay.
No, I'm a little bit surprised too. Oh. Yeah, somebody, I did have one on the text line that says, did Jason mention yesterday that his beloved rugged Conference USA lost to the Mountain West this past weekend? I don't think he did. Imagine that. Air Force 13, Sam Houston 3. Thanks. So, with all due respect, you're right. But is that what we're happy about, that Air Force beat Sam Houston 13-3? Is that what we're bragging about here? Is that? I mean, Air Force, your 10-win powerhouse? Okay. Thank you to Tim Beck, Aggie offensive coordinator, was with us today during Rivalry Week. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd will follow that. 2 Men On is in at 4. Isotopes baseball after that. That's 0 for 2. You guys want to go? You want to come back and do this again tomorrow morning? Award-winning radio, 7 a.m.
Absolutely.
You in? Can you get up tomorrow morning?
I will be here.
All right, great show today. Great work, DC. Adrian looks great on the TV side. Big day for you.
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Hey, be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.